everyone, and welcome back to the Rise Factor. I am your host, Sarah, and today I have a bit of I suppose, interesting topic that we're going to be covering, but definitely an amazing man who's doing some amazing things in a lot of different spaces. So I would love to introduce you all to Troy Carter. Thank you so much, Troy, for joining me today.
Thank you for the introduction.
No
Very nice.
worries. Well, I thought I don't like to do much of an introduction because I want to have the light on you. So a lot of people will not know who you are, and I think that's amazing because we're just going to be covering so much today. So who is Troy?
Well, I'm a 35-year-old male, and I am just a genuine bloke, just likes to take the piss and have a laugh. That's who I really am. I've got a big heart, and yeah, that's not who I've been my whole life. I've always pretended to be something that I'm not, and now who I really am is who I am, and that's just someone that is grounded, happy, content. I know who I am. I know what I want to be, and yeah, I'm really about trying to help others now because my life has never really been about that. My life has always been a bit more on the violent terms, getting into a lot of trouble and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't me. It was just kind of living in this fake life and this fake ego, trying to be something that I wasn't to impress others. And that's how my whole life's kind of been, just trying to impress other people and trying to fit in and into the wrong crowds. So over the last few years, I've really taken a different step in direction of my life, and I really found out who I really am.
I love that. And so Troy, and for the listeners or people that are watching today, there's a reason I got Troy to come on because I've been, a bystander. I've personally seen the transformation that you have gone through, Troy. But I definitely wanted you to come on because as a male, and I have seen it firsthand that a lot of men have been maybe wearing a mask or they have been fearful to share or be vulnerable about some struggles that they are facing, and or perhaps haven't gone on to that journey of self-discovery or really found out what their purpose are or their goals in life. So I really loved that you first of all just admitted that you used to you never wanted to be about other people, you're about yourself, and you got into some trouble and all of those things. So before we go into how you came around to where you are now, what are you doing now, Troy?
So I've cleaned up my life a lot. So I no longer use drugs. I no longer use alcohol. I do a lot of daily routines at meditation, breathwork daily. My diet's pretty clean now. I only drink water and coffee. I say good things about myself. I also have to say hello to a stranger every single day and try and engage in a conversation. It doesn't always go my way because a lot of people don't want to engage with you, but some days I might talk to someone for an hour or so. There was actually one time when I was living in Chelsea and I actually ended up walking an old lady all the way back to her house. And we just spoke the whole time. Well, she actually spoke to me. It's just like a really nice thing to do because I never used to be like that. I used to turn my nose up to everyone, and I used to be just that arrogant dude that thought he was hard, and I didn't want to show anyone love in that. I just wanted to be a hard ass, and to do that now and be in that space, it makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
It's actually a really powerful feeling. And the thing is, we have this ego and everyone lives in this ego. We just got to let that ego down and be who we really are, because no one wants to show their true selves. Everyone's they live in this fake persona, like they're not who they actually really are. They're trying to be something else.
So tell us about that. Your journey to figuring out who you are, Troy.
So we go all the way back to the start.
Let's go.
So we'll start off when I was young. So I've been dabbling in drugs since I was 13, 14 years old. But I came from a broken family, I'd say. My mum and dad broke up pretty early. My dad convinced me that my mum cheated on him. And then I only just realised this recently, but I was actually bullied when I was young. And it was in regards to we didn't really have a lot of money. I'm not saying we're poor, but we didn't have a lot of money to buy nice clothes like all the other kids did. We didn't have nice food like all the other kids did. It was just a basic lunch. And we used to get bullied about that kind of stuff. And I kind of suppressed those feelings and those emotions. And I only remember me being the bully. And it actually came up in one of my journeys recently. But I grew up and I was the bully. But it was actually, I was bullied first. And I feel like this is a lot lot of bullies. They were bullied once and then they turned, and now they're the bullies. So for my whole life, I was bullying people. I was getting into a lot of fights. I was getting expelled from all my schools, primary school, high schools, 2 high schools, trade school, to the point where I couldn't even finish my apprenticeship because I got kicked out of trade school. I had to RPL my trade school just to get my certificate. So about 16, I was out of home, living out of home. I was living on couches, living at mates' houses. And then I happened all the way up to about 18 years old, and I moved to Queensland for a bit and didn't really have a lot of money, but I'm one of those people that I always want to try to prove people wrong, try to show that I was doing the right thing and showing that I was better than what I was, because I was living up to this fake persona of just trying to be this hard ass and this cool person. And, it's just the way that everyone kind of saw me, and it's just the way I got stuck. I just thought I had to be that person. And you can't realize who your real mates are because everyone's just kind of forced you doing all this stupid shit. You only do it to impress people. So a lot of my life was like that. I ended up going to Queensland. I ran out of money up there, and I had to do a job where it was like a sex worker job. It was like a bit of a porno industry, but that's where my life was going. I was doing these really stupid things to try and impress people, but also try to get money. Obviously, I didn't make the cut. I came back to Melbourne. I went straight back on the ice again. And then I tried to move away again just to try to get away from everyone. And I moved to Queensland. Perth. So I moved to Perth for about 3 months. I lived in a tent. And I was sober, off the drugs, but I wasn't sober with alcohol. I was drinking a lot every day with my mate. We lived in a tent in a caravan park. We were doing our security license. And then I ran out of money again. So I jumped on a flight, came back to Melbourne, and come straight back to Melbourne, had to smoking ice again. I was getting into fights. I was causing a lot of shit with my mates, doing a lot of stuff like on the violent side. And it was obviously fueled by drugs, because when you're on drugs, you're not yourself. You're doing really stupid things.
Yeah.
And then I was living on my brother's couch at one point, and I was really sunk in that I was doing some really stupid shit. I didn't move away. So I thought, I'm going to give this Perth thing another crack. I had a bit of an idea in my head. I'm one of those people with 0 to 100. I had a plan. I manifested what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve over there. And I went back over and I gave another shot. And I lasted over there 6 years. Most of that I was sober. I ended up getting a partner over there. I ended up getting my dream job over there that I wanted at the time. And I was making really, really good money. Obviously lost a lot of friends. And then I came back to Melbourne and I fell back into those habits again. Not being able to keep a relationship, just being a real broken man, back on the drugs again. So yeah.
So much to unpack. And first of all, Troy, I just want to say thank you for sharing, because I feel like by you sharing your story, first of all, I can only imagine that it probably wouldn't have been as easy to speak about it as you can speak about it now. From someone who has gone on my own healing journey, from so much, and I think we carry so much from when we are younger as well. Like you brought up some things about childhood and being bullied, and I was bullied in high school, terribly by guys, and I had this really unhealthy relationship with men, and I flocked to men for these reasons that I was just trying to find, I suppose, attention or love or worthiness, when I couldn't get that from someone else. I had to find that within myself. So that was like hard work, and by my own journey with substance abuse, and I don't drink alcohol anymore, I don't drink coffee, but definitely back in my time, it was 100% evident that there was a lot of people using, and there's no judgment here, right? Because at the end of the day, Troy, you've gone on your journey, you did what you did, but you've come out on the other side now. So was there a pivotal moment then where you were like, okay, enough is enough? Like, what was that moment where you were like, enough is enough, I got to do something, that led to what you're doing now?
I was still looking at it from the point of view of my life where I was still trying to be a hard ass. I was doing some stupid stuff for it, and we were nearly facing jail time. We got charged for extortion, which is a pretty serious charge. It was just wrong place, wrong time. Luckily, I found a really good lawyer, and I wasn't one of the main culprits, but I was still involved in it. And I was just like, fuck, that was like a real eye-opener for me. Like, Troy, you've got a really successful business. Your 2 dogs that you love more than anything in this world. What are you going to do if you go to jail for 10 years? Well, who's going to look after your dogs? Who's going to look after your business? You've got all these properties. And I've really set myself up while I was doing all this stuff, because I've always been pretty smart with money. But I wasn't really smart with everything else I was doing. So it could have come down really, really quickly. And that was a real eye-opener once I went to court and I was free and we weren't going in. That was kind of the ice on the cake to say, let's pull your socks up. Let's start trying to better yourself. Actually, I'm not sure if you heard him, Stephen Bartlett, Diary CEO. I actually started listening to his podcast, and he had a podcast about breathwork and that, and meditation, and Joe Dispenza, and that's how I got involved in it.
Interesting.
So then I started doing breathwork, and my anger started going. I was a real angry guy. Like, my road rage was crazy. My anger towards my workers was crazy. I was always in fights. I had real serious anger problems, but I had really serious anxiety as well. And then I started doing this meditation, this breathwork stuff, and it cleared it all up. My little bits of depression I had started going away. I was so happy I could go out and I could dance sober. I wasn't really worried about what anyone thought about me anymore. And that was one of my big things. I was always worried about what people thought of me, and that's why I lived in this fake ego of trying to be this tough person. Really, I'm just this bloke that just wants to be loved and love people and help people out, and that's where I really thrive. Like, obviously that happened. I started my breathwork, and then my dogs got sick, and that was another big thing for me to really clean my diet up. And then once my dog got sick and got cancer, terminal cancer, because I obviously don't believe in medicine and all that kind of stuff, I thought, well, I would take medicine. Why would I give him medicine? So then I went full organic with him. And then this is where positive always comes from a negative. I turned him into organic and I kind of turned myself into organic, and I really cleaned up my whole entire diet and really made me a lot healthier.
Mm.
And then I was just on this massive journey of just healing. And then I just started meeting some really cool people along the way. And I feel like once I was in that space, it was just opened up more doors to this better life that I really wanted. And that old life, like, I don't regret it, because everything that's happened, I need to happen. It had to happen for me to be in this place right now.
Yeah.
I'm thankful and grateful and blessed for everything I've ever been through, because I'm so grateful and blessed that my life is where it is right now.
Yeah. I remember someone asked me before, like, because I had a big scare, like health-wise, 8 years ago, which like started kind of helping my healing journey, but it wasn't enough to like to have a big wake-up call. And that he said, do you think people need to experience what they experience to be able to do what they do now? And I remember one of my coaches taught me that our pain leads to our purpose.
Yeah.
So in your scenario, with all the shit that you've been through, and the things that you had to experience, do you believe that that's led to your purpose now, Troy?
I definitely do think so. Yeah, it's definitely made me stronger.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah.
So now you are a breath facilitator. You've got your own breathwork practice, and you are now helping other people transform their lives through your own experiences, which I think is amazing in itself that you're being able to do that. And you still have your building company.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I've kind of scaled the building down. So the carpentry side is fully deleted. So now I only use subcontractors to do that part of my work, and now just a builder.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so tell me about so it's one thing to go through breath work and go through that healing journey to be like, well, I actually want to be a breathwork facilitator and have my own practice. Like, how did that come about?
I feel, because I know so many people going through the same thing that I was, and that's why I'm posting so much stuff about my kidney issues and all that kind of stuff, because I want people to be aware of like what I was doing. You guys are doing exactly the same thing. You could be going through the same stuff as me, and then doing the breath work, I know if it's healed me, it could heal a lot of people, if not all the people that I know.
Yeah. Like off air, we were talking about the ripple effect. I think a lot of women are more open to sharing about their, experiences, and can be a bit more vulnerable. So I think, and again, why I wanted you to come on, because it's not many people who will come on a podcast and openly share what you have shared and actually be able to sit here and be like, that's my past. That doesn't define who you are. You've been able to say like you had your fake persona, and, there's a time and place for our ego, but you were living in that dark ego space, and having those suppressed emotions, which I think, because I work in the real estate industry, and I know that there are so many men out there who are busting their ass every day, and they're hustling, they're trying to make good coin, but they're suppressing themselves, or they don't know their values. They're just going day by day. What would be your advice for those men, Troy, who are living their life like that?
Well, I get a lot of guys down here now, and a lot of guys that I know that I didn't really know what they were going through. But the thing is, like, we all have a past, and you shouldn't be afraid, or, it shouldn't matter what you've done in your past. It's your past, and you've learned from that. That's what you do now. And we're all taught not to cry, not show emotions, and be tough. And I still get ripped into now when I put a crying video up on Instagram, but I don't care, because I want people to know it's okay.
Yeah.
Real strength is for emotion. Holding it in, that's not strength. You're a broken man. Why not heal so you can be better for your partner, be better for your friends, be better for your children, be better for the people around you? Because the best version of you is going to rub off anyone else. If you hold all that trauma and all that stuff and all that emotions in, you're not going to be the best version of you. You only live once, so why not live to your fullest?
For sure.
And I get a lot of tough guys in now that open up, and I'm just like, I love it. It is such a beautiful thing to see that these big tough guys come in and just release, and their lives just become so much better. So I really do want more men to realize, like, it's okay to cry. Like, we are designed to cry. If we couldn't cry, all right, but tears come out of our eyes for a reason. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
it's supposed to release.
I think that's like a key word that you said, Troy, is like release. And by my own experience, and probably yours now too, because of the issues that you've had with your kidneys and things like that. Of course, I'm sure it's because of what you've shared anyway. It's because of the things that you're putting in your body. But if we are storing all of those emotions and we are suppressing our feelings, then our body stores that, and it literally makes us sick physically, right? Like physically sick, and our body shuts us down in some way or another. I've experienced it. You're having to like reverse engineer some of the damage that you've done to your body over the years. Like I'm still going through my own transition now, which I've got a nearly 1-year-old, and even just having raising a child in my body, having to restore my body from that is just a whole nother level in itself. So I think, like you said, it's a release, and whether you're a man or a woman, it's so important to, I think, be aware of those emotions and be able to release and have a response in a healthy way. And I feel like this is a thing that's missing from when we are younger and we are being, grown up, unless your parents teach it. Who taught us to express our emotions at school in a healthy way?
Exactly.
I didn't get taught that. Did you get taught that at school? No.
Oh, doesn't. You get told not to. Like, women are pretty good at, amongst women, they're pretty good at, talking to each other and and doing all that kind of stuff. They're really good at letting it releasing to one another. Males don't do that, and males need to do it more. I was actually saying to a guy the other day, I was like, if me and you were mates and I don't open up to you, you're not going to open up to me. And if you don't open up to me, I'm not going to open up to you. It only takes one person to open up to start the effect in that group. And then once that person does it, everyone's going to start sharing. I've actually got a mate who was going through some serious stuff as well, and I opened up to him, and now he opens up to me all the time. So the proof is important. Once you just, you just take that step and go, hey man, I'm going through this. They're going to go, oh, Troy's open up to me. I can now open up to him. And it creates this bond between your mates. There's so many males out there just keeping it in, and they're going through suicide and all this other crazy, crazy stuff. And all it takes is just to open up to one person and talk.
Yeah. Do you have like a suggestion, like Troy, for, any guys who are like, well, maybe they don't feel like safe to talk to their mates? Like, like for instance, my friendship group now, as opposed to 5 years ago, completely different because, obviously don't drink or anything now. And I, surround myself with more like-minded people so that I do have friends that I feel safe that I can share. I'll be like, hey, do you have 15 minutes for a chat? I literally did it on the weekend. I messaged a girlfriend, like, hey, do you have 15 minutes? Because she was obviously like, okay, Sarah needs to, have a release. But like for the guys, what about if they don't feel safe to share with their mates? Do you have a suggestion?
I think they're overthinking because I think their mates are always going to back them. But if they are scared of doing that, that's where breathwork comes in. Breathwork, you release. You don't need to tell anyone what's happening. You release. Like I have clients that come in here, and I always say to them, if you want to share, you can share because I'm always open here because I'm going to learn from that as well. But if you don't want to, you don't have to because you've already released everything you need to release, and now you've rewired your brain to create habits and thought processes to becoming the best version of you.
Yeah.
So I say breathwork is definitely one of the big ones. Come in, release, and if you do want to share with someone like me or someone else that holds space, you can.
Yeah.
The thing is, don't overthink it. Your mates are going to always be there. I used to think the same thing. I can't share this to my mate. I can't tell this to my mate. You actually be very surprised that your mates are going to back you 100%, and your mates want you to share.
Yeah. I think that's great advice. So I'm a massive fan of breathwork. I don't do it often enough, but I definitely know when we need to do it as well as meditation. So for those that don't know much about breathwork, Troy, can you give us some educational piece for those that don't know much about it?
Yeah, okay. So breathwork at the moment is really, everyone's like, oh, it's woo-woo, it's this and that. There's so many aspects of it. So you could use it for fitness. A lot of sporting people use it. So to get better diaphragm, stronger lungs. So you can use these while you're at the gym, by doing breath holds while you're doing reps. A lot of divers use it so they can dive and hold their breath for longer. But then what I am doing at the moment is doing 9D, and that's really getting into deep trauma, emotions, fears and blocks, releasing them and removing them and creating new processes so we can become the best version of ourselves. But it's manipulating the breath so you can go into your subconscious mind and lock all that stuff, because up here, everything that's ever happened in our life is here. Suppress it, we forget about it and push it to the side. But we don't want it here. We want to release it. We don't want these things holding us back. And without releasing them, without releasing all that stuff that's inside us, you're never going to be at your fullest. You're never going to be at your best. So there's many aspects of breath work. You can do so many things. There's like, obviously breathing through the nose daily is a big thing that we need to do, because a lot of kids this day and age have got stress, anxiety, depression, and all that kind of stuff at a young age. And that's from just breathing through their mouths. They're breathing through their mouth into their upper chest, and they're not getting into the diaphragm. You really need to be breathing in through your nose, filter the air, get that nitric oxide gases in there. It's only created through the nose, and then breathe into your diaphragm and really like massaging the organs and getting all that air down to your organs. And you'll regulate your stress, you'll regulate your anxiety and all that.
Yeah.
Like I do it every single day. I try and breathe through my nose as much as I possibly can.
So many benefits. And as a professional keynote speaker, and I've got a coach, and she sent me through so many like different vocal exercises that I had to do. But one of the key things was actually breathing, but not just that, being aware of when you breathe and also when you speak. And I was like, when I went back and watched one of my keynote speaking, and I was like, oh my God, I wasn't even breathing properly when I was speaking, and then I was losing breath.
Yeah.
And now I'm super conscious. And one of my most recent keynote speaking, when I got feedback, and they're like, you were so grounded. And I was like, yeah, because I was being conscious of my breath when I was talking. And not just that, I was able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like extend my vocal cords even further because I was like breathing correctly. So it's like so many benefits. And I think, Troy, in the industry that I work in, so many people can be in a stressed state, or they can have something happen that puts them into a state where like, oh my God, and their body is like freaking out, or the nervous system might be, a bit wired. And so one of the things that they can constantly do to help with their nervous system is just be like, let's go back to your breath, even if it's for like, what is it, 10 seconds, would you say? Like how quickly, Troy, can someone calm their nervous system down?
Well, you want to be, 10 seconds is very quick. You probably do it if you've been doing breathwork for a long time. You could definitely do it. But you want to be doing a minute or more.
Okay.
If you're really stressed, and anyone that's listening that might be stressed, you'll now notice when you are stressed, you'll be breathing through your mouth. So you close your mouth right now, your tongue should be resting at the top of your mouth. And then you can take a nice nose breath. So if you just breathe in for 5 seconds, it's called coherence breathing. In for 5 and out for 5. If you do that for a minute, you'll relax yourself. And then you try to connect your mind and body together, because we want to be connected with our bodies. Like we're so in fight and flight that our heads are so crazy. Like as soon as we get up, we jump on our phone, jump on our emails, everything's just rush, 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 rush. So we're constantly in fight or flight, and our nervous system is so shot.
Yeah.
No one just gets up and like I get up now and I don't touch my phone until I go to the gym or until I've been awake for at least an hour. I do my breath work, I do my meditation, do all my little bits and pieces before I even worry about the day ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, like, why are we checking our phones first thing in the morning anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what's so urgent?
Yeah, I know.
Like, I still do it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm sitting here and talking to you. I'm like, why is that? It's like it's a habit that we form. 100% it's a habit. And one of the things that you mentioned earlier, Troy, is we can rewire our brain though, right? So if you're like, Sarah, I have to check my phone in the morning. That's just something that you are embedding in your mind. It is definitely something that you can bring to your consciousness and be like, okay, next morning I'm not going to check. Maybe it's 10 minutes you go without looking at your phone, and then it's half an hour, and then 45, and then it's an hour. Like small increments, every day. But I definitely think, we can get so stuck in our own ways, which you said that earlier, like when you were going through all your shit, like you were definitely stuck. And now the good thing about the day and age that we live in is there is so much help available, Troy. Like, you, I suppose, you experienced this stuff, and thank God that you got to listen to that podcast with Stephen Bartlett, and then got introduced to Joe Dispenza. And for anyone that doesn't know Joe Dispenza, go and read his book. He's got so many things on YouTube. He's an absolutely phenomenal, amazing man. But then you've been able to reinvent your life, essentially. Like you're living a life on purpose. You're happier, and I think that's a lot of people chase in their life. They're like, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I 100% was one of those people, but I was looking. I thought that happiness was more of a like external thing, and for me it was like if I meet that guy, I'm going to be happy. If I have that house, I'm going to be happy. And it all has to start with internally. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think, and I was the same. I was never happy, 100% happy, and this is how I see it now. We meet someone and we do these things when we only love ourselves a very small percentage, so maybe 40%. So if we only love ourselves 40%, him or her could come up and only love us 50%, and you're like, wow, he loves me so much, but he only loves you 50%. Now imagine if you love yourself 100%. Him or her now have to come and love you 110.
They're going to meet you there, yeah.
For you to go, wow, they love me so much. And that's a true connection. I've had a fair few relationships, and they've all been broken because I'm broken.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this person's broken, that person's done this, it's her fault. It was actually my fault. I was getting in these relationships and I wasn't ready. I was a broken man. I didn't love myself. I didn't know who I was. My mind was just a million miles per hour. How can you settle down? How can you find love? How can you love yourself when you're like that? You need to sit back, love yourself 100%, do the inner work, and then life will get better and good things will come. I have a great connection with women now. And obviously I'm not seeing anyone, but just my connection with women in general is good. Even the people I date is great. My breakups, or if I don't no longer need to see that person anymore, we separate. It's very amicable, and it's not like there's no hate there.
Yeah. So interesting, even that concept. I know this might be a little bit off topic, but I always, and the people that are listening and they're still listening for a reason, right? But I always think about, so people who have been in your life for a certain amount of time, and at that point in time, you had an exchange of energy and you had love for that person at that time. And love can look like different things, right? Yeah. But then it's like, why do we have to block those people just out? And I'm not one of these people, right? I've still got some of my exes on Facebook or men that I've had encounters with on my socials and things like that, because I'm like, why do we just then go, no, you can't be in our lives, or they can't follow you? And it's just this weird concept. Do you think? Like,
100%. I said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I don't.
Yeah.
They say on there, whatever. I'm happy to be friends with them forever. Whatever. I don't have any hate towards anyone, but I used to be like that a lot.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I think that one of the lessons I learned last week was it was a bit of an introspective, and this was not from me. Like I've done a lot of shadow work, so I'm very good at if I'm conversing with someone and they've reacted in a certain way, that then there could be something else happening for them to react or respond in that way. But I actually had a conversation with someone, and this said person had no idea what was going on in my life at the moment in that time, and she was actually very abrupt. And the problem that she was confronting me with, I was like, wow, if that's what you think is a problem, like look at the world, like look at the some big shit that's actually going on. And I think sometimes we need to remember that we are this fucking small in the grand scheme of things of this whole universe, right? And when you can come from that place and go back to that gratitude and think of ways that we can continue to help people, because I think that's all life is about, like connection and love. Like life is too short not to be able to connect with people. Like something you did, Troy, is like you just say hello to people, and if a conversation turns up. There's this one lady, she walks her dogs every day, and every day I say hello to her. She's never said hello back, and I was like, my mission is to crack this lady and I get a hello back from her that she's walking her dog every single day. But I've had some ripper conversations with people that I met this guy, and he was doing some volunteer work over in Sri Lanka, and he's got this whole charity, and I just thought how fascinating that we can learn and discover so much from people, and it all starts with a simple hello.
Yep.
right? Just a simple hello and connection. So Troy, before we wrap up today, from your life experiences, the journey that you've been on, and where you are now, if you could go back to that, 15-year-old Troy, what would you tell that boy?
Be humble, be grateful. Every day is a good day.
I love that. And for any guys who are thinking, okay, I am curious about, finding my purpose, or, unpacking some stuff, or, just reconnecting to themselves and doing breath work, where should they start? Like, where can they go to start on that journey?
Well, I definitely think talking to your mates is a big one, because, if you say you're 30 years old, the mates you got are probably going to be mates you're going to have for the rest of your life. If you're a bit younger, they're going to probably come and go. But I think definitely starting off with your mates and talking to your mates, because they're closer to that, even family members. But I definitely feel like doing meditation, breath work is a huge thing. But there's so many other factors I put into my daily routine. So I say something good. So I say something nice about myself every single day. And I have to, because I used to be my most harshest critic. I used to hate myself. I always used to think I was just, I wasn't a good person. But now I wake up every single morning and I say something nice about myself. And just these little things are huge impacts. And it's a good little starting point. Even just having a journal that you write in daily is a nice thing. Going to the gym is a massive thing for your mental health. Going for a run, eating healthy. Eating healthy. And I'm pretty big on processed food, and like I really blast on Instagram about parents feeding their kids junk, because the way I see it is you poison your child. Poison your child. You want to poison anyone, poison yourself. So diet's a big one. I'm not saying don't eat processed food at all, but if you can go Monday to Friday without doing it, you're going to notice massive changes. Your head's going to be clear. Like all that processed stuff blocks a lot of stuff in our bodies.
For sure.
I think main one is reach out to your mates, talk to your mates, come try breath work. Even if you're too scared to even do a class, go on Google and YouTube and look up some practices and just do it at home. It's so simple. All you gotta do is 10 minutes a day and you'll notice some crazy differences.
Crazy differences. Like, disclaimer, I cry every single time that I go there, because I'm in my masculine energy a lot, Troy. I'm not ashamed to say that. So like when I go, it's definitely like a release, and I can tap back into the more feminine side of Sarah. But I love that you said that. Like, talk to your mates. I think some like breath work and meditation has helped my life a lot. I don't do it enough now. I mean, the business and having a little baby takes up a lot of my time, but that's no excuse. I definitely need to make more time to connect with myself. And I think just to be consciously aware of what you consume and feed, not just your body, but your mind, I think is some valid points that you made. So what's next for Troy?
So September, I'm off to Sydney to get my last qualification for breathwork. So I'll be a traditional breathwork instructor. And then I'm really going to try and turn up this space and really try and help as many people as I can out, because I really feel like my heart is in this space. It's obviously I've been doing breathwork now for about 3 years, and it's changed my life dramatically, and all for the best. And I really want to help people and show people that if I can do it, you can do it, and your life can change. It doesn't have to be miserable. You don't have to be miserable and sad and depressed. Our thoughts are poison, and if you can change your thought process so they're more positive, you can have a positive mindset. If you think negative, it's going to be a negative day tomorrow. If you think positive, it's going to be a positive day tomorrow.
Absolutely agree. Well, Troy, I will put your details on the YouTube click. I know obviously you're tagged in the reel, so if anyone would like to reach out to you, and for the guys listening, and if you want to have a chat with Troy and just are curious, please make sure you reach out, even if it's just to have an open conversation. I think it's so important. But hey, Troy, I just want to say, thank you for sharing so openly. I think, I know that we shouldn't just glorify men because they, share, but I think, leading by example, I think it should be commemorated. So, well done. And I really appreciate you coming on, the Rise Factor and sharing your journey. And I'm sure for those that are listening, you've definitely shared some tools that they can take away and start incorporating to their life. And, we don't have to be at rock bottom just to start doing these things. I think we want to continue to stabilize that happiness and really elevate the state of our being, so that we can also help the people that are surrounding us and rise together, which is no pun intended, but yeah, rise together. So thanks again, Troy, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And for everyone listening or watching in true Sarah Sincotta style, keep rising.